like the game that happened before this one on Sunday, a lot was at stake as New Blood tackled First Trade with double elimination at stake for both teams. New Blood needed to win to stay alive in the race for 500, and First Trade was in the exact same position. Well, by the end of this one, New Blood rose with the 56-39 victory, snapping a 3-game slide to move to 2-4, keeping slim hopes alive in the drive for 500. First Trade dropped their 4th in a row to fall to 1-5. After the first 18 minutes of this game, one had no idea that it would turn into a rout, as it seemed like First Trade, coming off a tight game against Gritty Committee in their last contest, was here to play. It was mighty Jack Ma coming out of the gates on fire, even though it took the team 5:30, that's 5 minutes and 30 seconds, to score their first points of the game. When they did, Ma was the man. And New Blood wasn't doing too much better on their side, as it took them nearly 4 minutes to get their first points. But for them, it was Nabi Morihashi, the squirrely rookie out of who knows where, doing damage. After the first 16 points of the game were scored, make that 18 points of the game, guess who were the only guys to record any points? Ma had all 10 for First Trade, and 8, New Blood's 8 were all done by Nabi M. It was 10-8, Ma over Morihashi, until finally other guys started to chip in. By the half, New Blood had moved into a 19-16 lead as Charles and James Lamb started to do work. The Lamb brothers appearing on the court together for one of the few times this season, as it has only been one or the other, it seems, for most of the way. Nick Gao, again, was out for reasons unbeknownst, but in the second half, it didn't matter. Out of the gates after intermission, New Blood went on a scorching 10-0 run as James Lamb scored 2 in a row. Nabi Morihashi added 2 more baskets, and then Nabi Mo found big man Steve Che on the low to complete the 10-0 run and opening up a 29-16 lead. By the end of the third quarter, even though Ma had made a buzzer-beating basket to close out the frame, it was 39-28, and First Trade was left scratching their head. And really, earlier during that 10-0 run, after they'd called a timeout, you should have seen the scene, folks. They called the TO and proceeded to just stand around on the sideline, not talking to each other, looking like deer in headlights. In the fourth quarter, New Blood wrapped it up as Lamb just kept on bam, 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 running out for open scores on his way to a solid 16.6 rebound effort. Morihashi added 7 more points to finish with a game-high 24 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and maybe most importantly for him, just 3 turnovers. He is leading the AAA, or he's at least up there in that category, and he needs to bring that down. But he orchestrated the offense today, made that team go, and showed people why he is a heavy favorite for Rookie of the Season. For First Trade, Ma finished with 22 points and 4 rebounds, as he was his usual mighty self, but he just had no help, as no one else finished more than 7 points. Those 7 were scored by C.S. Shah, but he took 17 field goal attempts to get there, although he did snag 12 rebounds. And Sean Zhang finished with a similar stat line of 7 and 12, although he went just 3 of 12 from the floor. So if you total the First Trade's big men stats, they went 6 of 29 from mostly in the paint. Ouch, folks. Finishing just 26% from the floor on the game as a team, getting out-rebounded by 15, out-assisted by 7, and even though they only had 6 turnovers as a team, First Trade went back a step after advancing one in their loss against Gritty. New Blood keeps alive the drive again, and they look forward, if they can have both Lambs on the court at the same time, in addition to Nabi Mohashi dropping his turnover rate to doing some damage the rest of the way. A good footnote was the addition of Cappy Lay, brother of Cam Lay, the two look alike. Cappy is scrappy. He had 6 points and 3 rebounds and played good D on Baby Yao, which is why SZ went just 3 of 12 from the floor.